You are in violation of HOA bylaws. Remove your dock immediately or face legal action. I stared at the letter in disbelief, my morning coffee cooling in my hand. The paper trembled slightly, more from annoyance than fear. I didn't even live in their stupid HOA. 6 months earlier, I bought a gorgeous, untouched plot of land right beside Crystal Lake. Secluded, quiet, and best of all, completely outside the boundaries of the Fairview Pines gated community. The lake was state-owned. My land was private. No neighbors. No permits needed. Just me, the water, and the sunrise. For the first few months, it was perfect. I cleared a small section near the shore, built a modest wooden dock, and spent my weekends fishing and drinking beer in complete peace. No barking dogs. No lawn maintenance guidelines. No pastel-painted fences or monthly newsletters demanding compliance. Then she showed up. It was a bright, humid Tuesday when I first laid eyes on her. A white golf cart rumbled up my gravel driveway like it owned the place. Behind the wheel sat a middle-aged woman with an immaculate bob haircut, oversized sunglasses, and the kind of expression you usually reserve for roadkill or burnt coffee. Clipboard in hand, lips pursed like she was sucking a lemon. Karen Whitmore, HOA president, dictator of the Fairview Pines aesthetic, and evidently the self-appointed sheriff of Crystal Lake. She parked with theatrical precision and stepped out like she was about to issue a parking citation. "Mr. Carter," she said, already writing something on her form, "your dock violates our community aesthetic. It must be removed immediately." I raised an eyebrow. "Karen, right? I don't live in your HOA." She didn't even flinch. "The lake is part of our recreational jurisdiction. That dock is visible from our walking path. It lowers property values." I bit back a laugh. Wrong again. I reached inside the cab of my truck and pulled out my deed, held it out like a shield. "See this? My land extends right to the shoreline. The lake's public. Your jurisdiction ends at your fancy little gate." Her lips twitched. "We'll see about that." She climbed back into her golf cart, scribbling something furiously on her clipboard. The tires kicked up gravel as she zoomed off like a hornet on a mission. 3 days later, I received a cease and desist letter on HOA letterhead, complete with a gold foil seal and an overly aggressive font. Their lawyer, some guy named Bradley with too many vowels in his last name, demanded the following: remove the dock within 7 days, pay a $5,000 violation fee, submit all future construction plans to the HOA Architectural Committee. I laughed, so hard I nearly choked on my sandwich. They had no legal authority over me. None. Zilch. So I got serious. Step 1, I hired a licensed land surveyor. Took 3 days. He brought high-tech GPS equipment and old maps and confirmed what I already knew. My property was 100% outside the HOA's jurisdiction. Step 2, I filed a public records request for the lake ownership. Boom. The lake wasn't owned by the HOA at all. It was classified as public recreational land maintained by the state. That meant anyone, even a non-HOA peasant like me, could build a non-permanent dock so long as it didn't block access or damage the shoreline. Karen's entire argument? Vapor. But the real kicker? I found out she'd been pulling this stunt on other landowners for years, especially retirees and new residents who didn't know any better. She sent threatening letters, imposed fake fines, even had security guards patrol outside HOA boundaries. It was intimidation, plain and simple. I wasn't going to let that slide. With my surveyor's report, public land records, and Karen's paper trail of bogus threats, I filed a lawsuit against the Fairview Pines HOA. Harassment, false legal threats over land they didn't control, trespassing, Karen stepping foot on my property uninvited, fraudulent claims of authority, misrepresenting HOA jurisdiction to manipulate property owners they tried to countersue, claimed I was destabilizing the community atmosphere and causing visual disruption. The judge, bless her soul, raised one eyebrow and said, "Is this man part of your HOA?" Karen's lawyer mumbled, "Technically no." The judge tossed their case out in minutes. "Sounds like you should be thanking him for not reporting you." But I wasn't finished. I went to the county records office and started digging through some very dry legal books. I was looking for one thing, a clause I remembered from my early research. And there it was. A little-known state law said that if a homeowners association knowingly and falsely claimed jurisdiction over land it did not control, the affected property owner could sue for triple legal expenses. Triple. I filed a motion. The HOA fought it tooth and nail, but the evidence was undeniable. Emails, letters, Karen's own voice on a voicemail. We control the lake and you will obey our standards. $30,000 later, the HOA was bleeding cash. Fairview Pines residents were not happy when the quarterly newsletter revealed that the HOA had spent nearly $50,000 on a lawsuit they couldn't win. Their fees went up. Planned renovations to the pool were delayed due to unforeseen legal expenses. The walking trail resurfacing was postponed. People started asking questions, and when they saw the video of Karen yelling at me from her golf cart leaked to the neighborhood Facebook group, outrage erupted. At the next HOA meeting, more than 100 residents showed up in folding chairs and demanded Karen's resignation. Someone printed flyers with her face on them and the words, "Not my president." Karen tried to weather the storm. She didn't last a week. Once the dust settled, I did what any petty, satisfied man would do. I expanded the dock, twice as wide, extended further into the lake. Solid pressure-treated cedar with steel rails, a built-in cooler. And for flair, I painted the entire surface neon orange, the exact shade Karen once described as an aesthetic crime against nature. Every morning I'd sit on that bright orange dock, cup of coffee in one hand, fishing rod in the other, and wave cheerfully to the HOA residents walking their poodles and shih tzus around the lake path. Most waved back, grinning. Karen? She moved out 3 months later. Rumor had it she relocated to a condo complex with stricter rules and better community cohesion. Perfect. You know what I realized through all of this? Bullies wear many disguises. Sometimes it's a playground tyrant. Sometimes it's a clipboard-wielding suburban monarch. But they all have one thing in common. They count on your silence, your fear, your compliance. They expect you to back down. But here's the truth. If you're right, if the law's on your side, don't back down. Stand your ground. Do the research. Get the paperwork. Shine a light on their bluff. And if a Karen comes rolling up in a golf cart demanding that you follow rules that don't apply, make her regret it. Because sometimes justice isn't served in a courtroom. Sometimes it's served from a neon orange dock with a fishing pole and a smug little smile. Thanks for listening to our story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more real-life stories that inspire, entertain, and sometimes make you cheer out loud.